What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is Ty Berry, Black Phoenix, just chopping it up at the dojo. And I got my main man here, icon, martial artist, bodybuilder. He does it all. Flex Wheeler.
What's up, man? I'm known as Black Santa Claus right now.
Black Santa Claus?
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with Black Santa Claus.
Black Phoenix.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
The what?
Black Phoenix. What's that all about? How come it ain't yellow or white or why you gotta have a color, man? I didn't know Phoenix was
Oh, Black Phoenix?
Yeah.
Black Phoenix. That's cool.
Okay.
It's a spiritual name.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
What's
going on?
Not too much. What's new with you? What you want to tell us about? Talk to us about.
Oh man, we can go from A to Z. How you want to do it?
It's up to you. It's your world.
No, dog.
We just passing through.
We did mine already. This is yours. You the governor.
Okay. Let me see. We want to talk about how we first met?
Yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good topic. It was 1986.
86.
When I was in police academy, and your business partner at the time, Anton Pointer, was going to nighttime police academy, and somehow we ran into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me about the school and this, that, and the other. I said, come by, because at the time I was training with Robert Halliburton at Way Japan. Right. And he told me about you and how you were this great kicker, and I was like, nah, man. Ain't nobody out kicking me. And he's like,
right.
He's like, oh, you might want it. I'm like, nah, dog. So I came through. And,
right.
What we used to do back in the days is we would have you move around with our various different level students to see where your level was. Right. So, I was pretty aggressive. I only had like one speed, and you put me up against I hate to call him out like that, but Tony. You put me up against Tony. He was a green belt. I think I was a green belt at the time.
Right, you were.
And we went at it, and I guess I had a little bit too much fun with him.
Okay.
And you politely and really soft, voice, like, hey, want you move around with me a little bit? I'm like, no problem. It was a problem. I think anyone who's experienced knows it takes a lot of control and speed to be able to throw a technique so fast where you can't do nothing about it, but they have the ability to pull back and just very lightly touch you. And you did that with your hands, your feet, and everything, man. I felt like, I'm like, this dude didn't disrespected me. Just touched me all up. And I knew every punch and kick was a knockout because I didn't see it. I only, I just barely felt it. So, I left all in a huff, all upset. And I seen Anton again another day, or he's like, so what did you think? I'm like, yeah, man, your homie disrespectful, man, He's like, how's that? And I said, you should really go and talk to him. And, I don't know how, because it wasn't normally my nature. I kind of bit the bullet and went back out there and we talked. And, man, it was gravy. It was amazing, bro. We did some beautiful things, bro. Some beautiful things.
Right. A lot of fun. Traveling, fighting, and you did katas too. So, you weren't just a fighter. You was a good fighter, great fighter, but you was also very, very good at katas and demonstrations and flying kicks, flying in the air. So it wasn't like you was just one dimension and you just can fight. right?
Yeah. And I
Right.
remember
So,
that's something that you really push, because like our conversation was like, man, come over and train, I got you. And within a year you'll be a number one fighter in California, and I think in a couple of months I was a number one fighter.
right.
And all I did was fight. And you brought to my attention, like, no man, we can't be one-dimensional, you got to be functional, all that. So we started training more with katas and stuff like that, and I started competing in katas, and it was fun. I actually, now I can relate. I wish I could have been, but I wasn't big into bodybuilding, but
Right.
it's basically just selling yourself. You know what I mean? It's performing.
Right.
So, and that's what I did as a bodybuilder. I sold
Exactly.
myself on stage and performed. So yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. I loved everything about, martial arts, and the demonstrations we did.
Right.
We traveled all over California, man. I mean, we go to the freaking LA and turn around and come right back and fight in the Bay Area, man. We were all over the place.
Right. Exactly.
Man,
Exactly.
we were fighting, dog. I mean, I'd break somebody's rib and you break they instructor's ribs. It was great,
Man. Some good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Truly,
A lot of good times.
Truly.
Yeah. I remember one time
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I just, I've said it a billion times to you. I've said it in so many different podcasts and all that, but I give you, all the credit. It was your decision for me to go into bodybuilding. I remember we had that conversation at one in Mr. California, and then that Sunday I came back and fought in the California Championship, and I was like, dang, dog, and I mean, I was kind of arrogant. I was kind of full of myself. I'm like, damn, man, nobody can handle me, dog. I mean, that's what I do. And you, like, as you always was and still is, very philosophical. You'd never give me a direct answer. You would always, and then I didn't understand it, but you're trying to like have me think, use my own brain, come up with it, So I was like, I don't know, man, tell me, like, you do the one that chose you. And I'm like, which one is that? And you're like,
right.
Bodybuilding chose you. And I remember I was so offended that you had said, go with bodybuilding, because I was like, Sheena. Okay. Anyway, I remember I was so offended because I was like, how can you say that if you yourself say I'm a really good fighter? I mean,
right.
Then you broke it down to me. It was like, listen, man, it ain't no money in this. Bodybuilding, you can go make a living, and the rest was history. But I took that same mentality that you really beat into me, literally, because sometimes it was a beat,
right?
That same mentality, I was able to take that and use it in my training and my focus and everything. And I mean, you've trained a lot of great students, and a lot of them have done a lot of big things. But if you take that same mind frame that you helped transform me from a very immature young man, you take that same mentality, man, you can apply that to anything and be successful.
Right. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Being able to take that same mentality from this dojo floor and go into whatever your purpose is on this planet, right? Yeah. Whatever your purpose is, and just help you get there, right? So that's a lot what I try to focus on and tap into you and see, hey, which one you want to go with. It's up to you. Yeah. We can make either one happen, but like you said, the bodybuilding kind of chose you, chose you. And I remember we went up to that, what was it, a tournament in San Jose. You had me go to a tournament with you up in bodybuilding tournament. Bodybuilding show, sorry about that. Yeah. Bodybuilding show. Yeah. And we went up there, and you were still young in it. And you was like, hey, that's That's the #1 bodybuilder over there. That's the Sean Ray. That's the #1 bodybuilder. I looked at him. I said, him? He said, yeah, that's the #1 guy, right? That's Sean Ray. I'm like, really? I said, you beat him in a year. I said, you beat him in a year. And I mean, look how everything went. So I mean, I didn't know the guy. I only met him a couple times. I didn't really know him, but I knew you, and I knew where you was at, and you had already bought into the system, so I knew where you can go. He couldn't go there. He couldn't go there because he's different. He's different. Just like when you came in there, you had that martial arts, wrestling, hardcore, mental toughness mindset. So it's not going to be a lot of guys out there with that, right? It's just not. Maybe one or two, but it's not going to be a lot of them out there. And I didn't see that in him, right? So that's why I said you get him in a year. You know, I knew that from just saying. And once we did that, it was like, it was over, you know. I had to listen to you all the way home. You really think I can get him in a year?
I thought you was absolutely out of your. I'm like, dude, you don't know. I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, you know your thing in martial arts, but you don't know nothing about this bodybuilding thing, man. Because obviously you done lost your mind, you know, saying something like that. But you know, I mean, that's that ability just to see a talent. You know, that's so many movies about, you know, somebody discovering a young talent and that talent not knowing what their ability is, and you know, for that time period, whoever that talent is, have to take the strength of who's ever training or helping them, their belief in, like they believe in me so much, but I don't. But man, when that light, you know, switch click on and they start believing in themselves, like, man, watch, you know, back up and watch out, something great's gonna happen.
Right, exactly. And that's the key. And that's why I'm so tough on a lot of my kids and you guys, because of some of the other that I had that was helping me, but couldn't really tap into me and tell me, hey, this is what you need to go down this road. This is what you need to go down this path. Let's try this path. It made a big difference.
Yeah, you know, that's probably the difference, because back then, you know, you put hands on a young brother, you know, maybe they were too young and you couldn't whoop them up or anything like that. I don't know, dog, but you know. No, you know, I mean, it was just, you know, because, man, you know, the things which you could do with your feet back then. I mean, I try to explain it to people. I'm like, man, however you can move your hand, dude, he can move his feet like that, you know. But it was amazing, because I got to see people like you fight, people like Billy Blank fight, and I was, you know, underneath you guys, but you know, to be able to move around, and you know, the cats that you had come down from LA, right, for all of their name, Ray Wizard and all those cats,
Ray, Barry,
cats, Barry, you know, to watch those guys get down and you guys get down, what it really taught me is like, yeah, you know, in my division, I can slaughter people, but don't get too big for your britches, because you know you can't look at a cat. You know, we were just talking earlier last a couple of days ago about this cat named Michael Parker.
Right, Mike. Man.
Yeah, you can't look at cats until they can get down or not, man. So you know, I remember when we were bouncing together. Remember? Yeah, and I think it was a Mexican gang that came in. I don't know how it started, man. But it was about, I don't know, 10 or 11 of them cats, and it was just me and you. And I'm like rocking, and you know, this, that, and other, throwing blows, and you over here doing wrist locks, and I'm like, dude, hit somebody, man. But again, here you are comfortable enough in your skin, knowing that, no, this is good enough. I don't need to go there. Where me and my immaturity, I'm giving them all that I got, you know. But
that one dude he flatlined when you hit him.
And we didn't remember, like, the whole fight's over there, cleaning everybody out, and this dude get up and like, let's go. And I'm like, wait a minute, dog. I go, I knocked you out.
Yeah, flatline him. He was out. Sleep.
But that's the difference, man. I think between just this whole society now, this freedom of speech. Yeah, freedom of speech, but there's a consequence to what we say. And back then we were so respectful, but we were brought up by that generation of our parents, right? Before you even started the back talk, they're already there with the backhand or whatever. You know what I mean? So we just knew to stay in our place. If grown-ups talking, stay out of the room, don't interrupt. And that transferred over into, martial arts back then. We just knew, hey, man, be respectful. And highly respectful, disciplined, and all that. And I think there's a massive difference now where, people feel that they can just say whatever they want or treat you however they want, and there not be no consequences. It's kind of like the prisons. There's a lot of respect on what you say, and people know don't say certain things. It's all about respect in there.
Yeah.
And, back in our days, it used to be that way, man. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
You gotta have that respect, and like you said, in the prison system, you have to.
Woo.
You might not wake up the next day, or you might go to breakfast and somebody shank you in the neck. So it happens all the time, right? Just disrespect, right? Disrespect. So you got to know where you're at, and you got to know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes you never know. I remember this time we were at Tequila Pete's, and the bouncer, I can't remember what his name was, but he was known for getting into fights and busting kids up. And he took your ID.
Man.
And I think you showed him your officer's ID, and he's like, I don't believe you, and I'm gonna keep this. And everybody's like, uh-oh. And you're like, you might want to hand that back to me. He's like, nah, I'm keeping you. You're like,
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that guy.
But yeah, he was just seconds away from it, where, again, because you were being so polite about it, he thought that, that you were being a punk. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, I'm about to see what's really going on here.
Man. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know.
Right.
Who you're talking to,
Let me see. Let's talk about that late night call when I was at the dojo.
How many of them?
Right.
How many of them? So, you like call me at these wild hours and like, what you doing? I'm like, dude, I'm asleep, or, I'm like, what you doing? You're like, I'm training. You want to train? And I think at the beginning I would say no, and then I'd find out what was really going the next day at class. It'd be really hard on me. So I just learned to just to never say no. You want to train? Yep. You want to go meet at the high school, kick up and down the football field? Yep.
Isn't there?
But you know what really with that done is when I got into bodybuilding and I had my trainer Charles Glass. I would just never say no. I would just like whatever how hard he pushed me, I would just like put my blinders on and just fully trust in him like I fully trust in you. And I just learned just to never say no, man, and just always be willing just to train hard, because we trained hard back then for hours. We would weight train, right? Then walk over there and just train for hours, man. Hours.
Exactly.
We'd have
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
And where everything else is that you do is easy.
Yeah, truly.
Right, because I think we did did weights for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then we went over there and did the class and trained and fought for another 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
That was every day. So
every day, dog.
what was that? Weight gym, Fitness Plus, right there.
Yeah, Fitness Plus. Yeah,
right.
Fitness Plus.
Fitness Plus. What's his name? Ken.
Ken.
Yes. Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah, he's on Facebook too. He just came on like last year, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's on Facebook.
I got to try to contact him. I owe him a lot because I remember when I got laid off from the sheriff department.
Okay.
He had offered me like a little sponsorship. He had contacted me and was like, why did you stop bodybuilding? I'm like, man, it got too expensive. And he's like, well, come over. I'll take care of your training and your eating, your clothes and stuff like that. And yeah, that's where I came back and went from there. And definitely tag him when we finish with it. We hit him with a tag, because he's either on one of my Facebook or he was on both, right? Is what Ken Kennemore. Ken Kennemore, yeah.
He's doing. Seems like he's doing all right. Yeah.
And he started training with us, remember?
Right. We had everybody in there. We had everybody in there training. Yeah. Everybody was hitting weights. Everybody was big. Everybody was yoked up.
Big Stacy, rest in peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Touch wasn't big. He was lifting. He was lifting. He wasn't big. Huh?
Yeah.
And then we had Big Brad. Yeah. Brad was hitting it.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else was in there hitting the weights hard with us? Yeah. It was a lot of them in there.
Evan Wallace, he came over and trained with us every once in a while. He competed with me at Fresno. Yeah.
Okay.
He trained times with us.
Okay.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, we really crushed that theory that you can't have muscles and flexibility.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just the way you train.
Yeah, I remember that one time he was at I think he was out at a club. And I was at the dojo working out about 1 a.m., 1:30. And you called and you said, I called you. You called me. I said, what you doing? He said, I'm at a club. Me and my boys getting ready to go do something. Then I said, well, you want to work out? And they got quiet, crickets, quiet. You can hear a pin drop. I said, you want to come work out? I'm at the dojo working out at 1:30 in the morning. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll be there. And we ended up coming over there. We ended up working out until the sun came up. 7 o'clock in the morning, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, Yeah, that was a good night. That was a good night.
Yeah.
Right.
Many of those nights.
Right.
Man, I mean,
exactly.
The whole school was shut down. Me and you in there still moving around, stretching.
Right.
We watch videos of me fighting and talk about this. I go into the apartment. Put on the Super 8s back then.
Right.
We had Super 8s way back then, right?
Right.
These youngsters probably don't know about Super 8, but
they don't know nothing about that.
Super 8s, and man, we watch, and then
film night.
We got more sophisticated, and you would put it in slow motion.
Exactly.
Then we started doing that with everything, like Enter the Dragon. Remember, we sat there and he slowed it down. It'd be like a dummy's head there, and he'd kick him like, wait a minute, man.
Is that, and when he grabbed him too by the arm and it was dummies?
Yeah. Like, wait a minute, man.
I guess Bruce said, I'm not going to be grabbing no real person and doing this over and over.
Yeah. Nobody's just going to let me kick him in the head like that.
Ooh, man. Because he went out the screen.
Yeah.
He went off the whole screen.
Yeah.
Right. What else? What you doing these days? A lot of people ask me what you doing and how's it going, and are you teaching anybody? You coaching anyone? I get that question a lot.
As far as martial arts, no. I'm not, but I train a couple of guys. I have a training app that's out. That's on
a training app.
Yeah, it's on Apple, and also what's the other for what's the other phones like you? You're not an Apple guy. You're what kind of phone you use? What is it called?
I got a iPhone 17 Pro Max, baby.
Oh wow! So you didn't switched over? You ain't fully switched over, have you?
This what we watching right now. That's what we on right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, iPhone, baby. That's Apple, right? Is that Apple? I don't know.
Yeah,
I knew it began with an A. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just picked it up.
Yeah,
Then got like 4 terabytes on there.
Big
Got that
time.
what? Oh man, I'm trying to be like you.
So
I wouldn't have got it if it wasn't for
I
you.
have,
You the one told me that's all you need is the phone, and you're right.
Yeah,
Man.
Technology these days is crazy.
Crazy.
But other than that, I have a nutrition company that's called Flex
Wait.
Nutrition.
Flex Wheeler Nutrition?
Yeah, Flex Wheeler Nutrition. Yeah, we're not here in the United States. We're in Asia. We're in the Middle East. We're in India. But we haven't got over to the United States yet.
So if people wanted to do something with your stuff, can they get it from those other countries?
Yeah, they can go. They can go to Amazon and type in Flex Wheeler Nutrition, and we sell some of the products here in the United States through Amazon only. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, man, I'm just slow motion. Slow motion, dog.
Slow motion.
Slow motion. Yeah.
Now, you have anybody that you're working with, females, males, with their body getting trimmed up, dieting, helping them get fit, or competing?
I have a few clients that I'm working with. No high profile people at the moment. Just some regular people who just want to get back in shape.
Right.
A couple of guys who used to compete, when they were younger and they want to get back in shape and compete. So yeah, I still dabble with that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like yourself, I have my podcast, Flex for Life. Podcast that I also have. So I mean, I'm trying to shake and bake, in a couple of different platforms, man. But other than that, just really trying to like focus on like my family, like my health. Really, really honestly focusing on just my relationship with my Father in heaven.
Right. Always.
So that's really number one for me right now is just being aware that all these things that I've been through, good, bad, and ugly, were to tell a bigger story and to pull people and help them know where I get my strength from. So it's just through him. It's just through him, and just trying to be obedient and and just accept whatever he has for me in the future.
Exactly. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
We can do all things. We can do all things through him.
Yeah.
And Okay. I have a lot of students not a lot of them, about 5 of them, that was asking about your advice or your nutrition, and they're thinking about getting some stuff, and I told them, well, you can get in touch with him and he'll tell you what things to go and purchase, or I know you got your own stuff, so you may want to sell them some of yours.
No, so, if I don't have it, I'll let them know, what's the best website to go to get it. It ain't always about like me, I just, like yourself, just unselfishly, when somebody put their trust in me, whether it's advice or trying to get in shape or something like that, that's a tremendous honor, you know what I'm saying? So it's a tremendous honor to be able to reflect and to be able to pour into somebody and see what they become and what they can do with that, who they touch after that. So, I take that seriously.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. How does it feel leaving Fresno and going down to the big city of the Angels, the Los Angeles, the beaches, Hollywood, Universal City Walk? And
it's just something that I had to do. at that point, bodybuilding, Gold's Gym Venice was a mecca. And remember,
Right.
me and you actually went to Gold's Gym after I went to California, and
Right.
just had never seen no gym like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just something necessary. At that time, I'm not saying Fresno's that way now, but at that time, Fresno was like a really small city, so it's small town mentality people. And I just had to go and go where the knowledge was. So it's like,
Right.
If you want to be an actor and you want to be great at it, eventually you got to get down to LA, you got to get down to Hollywood.
Right.
So at that point, Gold's Gym was just the pinnacle of bodybuilding. I mean,
Right.
it was just, and it wasn't just bodybuilding, it was just A-list athletes and just actors. I mean, at any given moment, somebody, Olympic gold medalist would walk through, or some A-list actor would walk through, and it was a beautiful time because it was like no attitude. It was like once you walk through those doors, you're just a normal person. People gonna treat you that way. People gonna get at you. If you got out of place, it was like, it was none of that, man. So it was a beautiful time, but it was just something that I had to do, and obviously it worked out for me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I remember one time you introduced me to Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Kobe was there. Yeah.
Everybody was there, man. And even especially like when the NBA, was hot back then.
Right.
Whoever played the Lakers, that whole team would come into to Gold's Gym.
Okay.
And it was just, and it was like immediate respect. I mean, I would make fun of them because I'm like, man, you guys walk around like giraffes. You guys walk around like this, but it was just. It was just immediate respect, man, back then. It was a beautiful time.
Anybody that stands out to where, that came in there that you remember you had?
Kobe for sure.
Right.
I remember when he first signed with the Lakers, and I didn't know who he was, and his trainer knew who I was and everything. He had introduced us, and I was like,
okay.
I'm looking up at him like, hey, man, how you doing? And we kind of we would train at the same time a lot. And, I had my shirts back then, like, theme shirts once again is on, or Y2K ready. And I would give them to him, and he would wear them, and he would like give me his new pair of shoes that would come out.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, and just watching him, flourish. I mean, obviously, I wasn't aware of what he was going to do and how he was going to go and change the world. But, rest in peace to him and his daughter and the others who lost their life, in that. Right. Man, it was beautiful to brush up, against greatness back then, and have that relationship, with him was, that's probably the biggest and most positive relationship that I had that came out of Gold's Gym.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, when is his birthday?
I think his birthday is the same as mine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same as mine because I'm still good friends with his sister, and she lives down there with her family. So every August 23rd she posts, and I'm like, oh yeah. Right. Another thing, hey, August 23rd produced some monsters, man.
They produced some monsters, huh?
Yeah, they produced some monsters, man.
Right. So now, how do you feel about, because you are an icon of bodybuilding? So how do you feel about that?
For me, it's people's opinion. I mean, truly it is. It's people's opinion because there's other people who have different opinions about me and they don't believe that. So I'm honored that the people who think that, it's an honor. But I'm aware that there's also people out there who don't think that. So it kind of keeps me even till. I remember it was a time I was walking through the airport back in my prime, and you know, all swollen and everything. Got my jewelry on and everything, and this little kid ran up to me. It's like, "Wow, are you rich?" And it was just an epiphany I had over me. But I'm like, richer than some and poorer than others. Therefore, I am. You know, I'm no greater, no less, because there's people who are greater than me and there's people who are less than me. So I am. And you know, that's kind of the way I walk through life, man. I mean, you know, I appreciate people feel that way. You know, I don't think of myself as that way at all. You know, I don't think of myself as that way, but you know, I don't disrespect other people's thoughts when they do that. You know, so yeah,
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Anything else you can think of right offhand that we didn't cover?
Shooting. We want to talk about that.
Well, you've become a gun enthusiast, and that's good. You love to shoot.
Love it.
You want to tell us about that? Tell us a little bit about that, then.
I remember. You remember me and you know, my wife Sheena. We came down to Bakersfield, and you took us to the range, and you had your 1911. It was the first time I ever shot a 1911. You were telling me how powerful and accurate it was. Right. The target that was at least 100 yards out, and you're like, you know, this 1911 can travel out and hit that, and I'm like,
you're talking about the one where we hit when you hit it and I hit it. That was 200. That was 200 yards. That was 200 yards. No, you hit it first. You hit it first. Yeah, because I put that on Facebook, right? And dude was like, "Nah, that's too far. That's too far." I'm like, "Nah." Me and Flex,
and it sucks because we didn't have it on video, man. We didn't capture that on video, God.
Man,
but I mean, because I remember asking you, "Do I aim true or do I aim a little higher?" You was like, "No, man, just shoot true." And on the second shot, I got it, and I dropped the gun. I put it down like that. That's it. I ain't gonna do it no more because I just, man, I was.
I thought you hit it on the first try.
No, it was the second.
It was second. Okay.
It was the second one because I didn't really think I could hit it. So I'm aiming, and I knew when I pulled the trigger, I jumped a little bit, and I seen how close it was. I'm like, oh my God, I can hit this target.
Right.
The second one I got it. Yeah, the second one I got it. But
and that one, that's it's called a very good 1911, well built, about $1,700, $1,800. It's a Smith & Wesson 1911 E series, stainless steel. Yeah. Very good gun. Yeah, very good gun.
Yeah. And that's a damn shame because you know a lot of times people say, "Hey, but it ain't on video. It didn't happen." But damn, man. Well, and I tell people about that, like, nah, you know, because I'll say 100 because I knew you said it was 200, but
100 is kind of easy. 100, we can do that easy. I mean, like I said, Brad and them shoot that out of 100, 200. Swain, 100 yards easy. You know, so we can do the 100 yards is easy. That 200 was a little run. It was a little run. Yeah. But you made it in two, and I made it in what, 2 or 3 shots.
I think so. I mean,
3. Yeah.
3. And I could have sworn you went first because you proved to me that if you can hit it, because I didn't think so. So I thought you went.
I think you. Yeah, I wish we'd had that on film because in my mind I was saying you grabbed the gun and you shot up there, and it was your first. This is my. You can ask your wife. I said you made it on your first shot. That's what I thought, and then I was like, he made it on his first one. Shit. And I was like, pressure on me, right? I'm like, I gotta make this shot. He made it on his first shot because you did. You shot it, and then ding. And you're like, oh, that's it. You threw the gun down, right? You didn't do it no more. You threw the gun down, and then I shot, and the first one I missed, and the second one I hit it, and that's the way I remember it. It may be it may be yours, but
I know
that's the way
I know we both hit it. That's what
you're right.
That's what I know for a fact.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, I love shooting. I haven't
Uh-huh.
been in a while. I used to always go
Right.
and shoot, but it's just, you know, now in my health situation is something that I can do that I can still be competitive
Right.
and have fun, you know. And then also, I mean,
Exactly.
we're in some interesting times where, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm always thinking like the worst case scenario, and that's kind of like you train me in that mind frame to always think the worst thing possible. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're ready for that, you're ready for anything, you
Ready for
know.
anything else?
Yeah, I
Anything below
remember
that?
we'd go to the club and you like, you know, I'm gonna go to bed and you're like, okay, you know, and you like, you know, and you told me, it's like, hey man, if you're ever out with anybody, they go somewhere, you know, just keep that mental thought of how long they've been gone, and if they don't come
Mm-hmm.
back, you know, kind of make your way on over there and just, you know, make
Right.
sure. But it was always that protection mentality and that warrior mind frame that you always had, man. And
Yeah, it has
you
to
know,
be like
actually,
that.
me and Donnell were talking about you the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how Ty is doing? I'm like, man, just as mental as ever. He's like, really? I'm like, oh, Donnell. He's like, man, so many levels worse than you could ever imagine. Just
Mm-mm.
talking about not if, but when it happens. And I'm like, he goes, really? I'm like, dude, these levels worse than you could ever imagine. But it's not that. It's being prepared
Right.
for anything, being prepared for everything.
Right.
You know, and sometimes when I'm talking about stuff like that, my wife's like, oh, that ain't gonna happen, or you thinking the worst thing, and I'm like, no. Or like if she'll come up and try to scare me and I'll react to it. She goes, oh, I made you jump. I'm like, no.
Right.
You almost got it.
Man. Not even knowing.
You almost got it.
Not even knowing.
Jeez.
Mm-mm.
But,
Yeah, not even knowing. Yeah. So you shooting a little bit, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's good.
You got to
That's
come
good.
back down there so we can go down again.
We're gonna do
The
that.
last time you came down, we went to the range and had a little bit of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one got a lot of hits too. Got a lot of hits. A lot of people like it. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, what was that weapon I shot that freaking I shot it once and damn near tore my shoulder off and it set off all the car alarms. And I sat down like, man, I don't want no more of that there, man.
Was it the lever gun or was it a bolt action?
It was.
I think you shot both.
Yeah, it was both, but I think it was a bolt. I think it was a bolt action because it was short. No, it was a lever gun.
Lever gun.
No,
lever gun. That's that's the one they call a T-Rex gun. A T-Rex.
Yeah.
Remember it was in that movie called Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Dude on the motorcycle, yeah. It's a lever gun, Marlin SBL 4570. Takes down anything on the planet. And probably some other planets too.
Man, that thing damn near tore my shoulder off. I'm like, I said, I don't want to shoot that no more. And all the car alarms went off. And you like,
right.
And you're like, if it feels like that to your shoulder,
right.
Imagine the impact downrange when it hits somebody. And I was like, my brain just couldn't even accept, like, you know, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it take down anything on this planet. Probably some aliens from another planet.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Yeah,
I love it.
Good little tool.
Yeah, shout out to Canic. You know,
right.
A few weapons. Shout out to a Henry rifle.
Yeah, you got a beautiful Henry rifle. What kind is that?
It's a 44, but it's called something 44. But it's a beautiful gun. Yeah, 44 Magnum.
Okay,
it's beautiful, man. It shoots just.
It's not the Golden Boy, is it?
No. Jeez. Let me see.
It's made by Henry.
Yeah, it's made by Henry, and it was only a selected run that they made. They didn't make a bunch of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like a collector's edition.
Yeah.
Wow. Must be nice.
Look at you, dude. Hey,
must be nice.
We don't want to talk about yours. I know you're gonna like that.
Hey, how's baseball going? Is it baseball season there, sir?
Yeah, how's the weather? You know, what about those 49ers? You know?
Right.
But careful
Funny
on
man.
careful
Huh?
on the tree you want to shake over there, homie. Yeah, man. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
A lot of fun. I'm gonna have to make a plan to come up there in the next couple of months.
Yeah,
Definitely.
right.
Yeah. And get familiar with a couple of little toys we got. Go and have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
What you gonna bring out?
What you need me to bring?
Like in that movie, what was it called with Brad Pitt? I would love that doggone movie.
Which one?
Fight. When he was part of a small team that was killing Germans.
Small team that was killing Germans?
Yeah, they were in Germany and they were like just wiping Germans out. Yeah.
Who was in the movie?
As far as like, another actor, he's from Germany. He's really popular now, but Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Inglourious Bastards. Yeah. When he came the German guy, he's like, tell me where they at, what they brought to play with.
Right. He said, what they brought to play with, huh?
Yeah, what they brought.
But we need to have some fun.
Man, so let me know what you gonna bring to play with them.
Right. Whatever you want. Yeah, we're gonna do something. Yeah, really. Had to bring one of the station wagons or the SUV or something. Bring a couple of little toys. Your wifey want to shoot?
Oh, she always talking. Yeah, from that one time he helped her.
Yeah.
She got a bullseye. She's like, I shoot better than you. I'm like, please. Easy. Yeah, she loved to, man. She actually had brought it up like, wow, we need to go and practice. You need to take me practicing, and definitely, especially living here in Vegas. The work that she does and everything. I mean, it's a crazy world we live in right now, man. So
right. I think everybody should train.
Yeah,
everybody should train, and you can teach her a lot. So she might as well take advantage of it.
She's one of those type of women that if it comes from somebody else, she hears it, but if it comes from me, it's like, oh, you just talking.
Right.
Somebody else says like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll try that. Much.
Right.
Because I remember you were doing that, and I looked over at you, and I just shook my head. I was like, man, I don't know how many times I told her that.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, but it's like that sometimes. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. How was class today?
It was good. They had a good workout.
Yeah.
Got some new students. They come into Vegas in April. They'll be up to Vegas in April for the internationals.
Wow.
So what we got?
Is that a knockoff of the international that Ed Parker had, or
no? Ed Parker's was open tournament, open rules. Oh. This one is Japanese.
So
Japanese.
Traditional.
Yeah, traditional. Japanese
I
traditional.
I remember you had me fight in a traditional tournament once, man, and they had me in the wrong category. I was a heavyweight, and they had me fighting against lightweights.
Okay.
I'm stomping them. You're like, no, you can't stomp. I'm like, oh,
yeah, you was built for that too. You could have. That would have been an easy one for you, world champion. So you're a great fighter in open. You could have did taekwondo, but you really could have did traditional. Easy. Yeah.
Well, I come from that.
Right.
I started with Robert Stevenson.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Right. And then transferred over to Wade Japan with rest his soul, Robert Halliburton, and did that Shotokan. And I remember that was one of the first things you changed up. It's like, if you want to be a kicker, you can't have your stance that wide, you know what I mean? Because you got to transfer that weight, and that just shortened up. And I remember like my fighting style was damn near standing straight up, just almost straight up, but you have equal weight on each leg, so you don't have to like lean over or transfer weight, to be able to kick. It just comes right out, man. But we can talk about karate all day, dude. It's still out of out of all the sports I've done, and even as good as I did in bodybuilding, man, martial arts is still my number one love, dude. I'm like,
Right.
my cheeks
I can imagine.
Start hurting. I just love it, man. It's just beautiful, man. Just beautiful, bro.
Right.
I remember we used to fight all day and wouldn't get tired.
No, right? All day.
Wouldn't get tired, man. We would fight all day, round robin.
Right.
In the middle, 7 cats, man. And I'm trying to eat every last one of them lunch, and
exactly.
I'm getting tired, but never got tired. Never got tired, man. Never. I don't know if it was youth or just training or both. Combination, you know. So
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Have you talked to Robert Stevenson?
You know what? I used to. I think right after I turned pro, I used to be in contact with him.
Okay.
And I don't know. It was like the energy was different, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know that he felt some kind of way when I went to Weird Japan. Then he really felt some kind of way when I was training with you, because you were fighting against him, you know, or he thought that he was fighting against you or whatever. I don't know, but you know, but I still give him credit, man. I mean,
right?
Yeah, big time shout out to him to being my first first instructor with Shaw and Rue and Bob Tillman. Big Bob Tillman was his.
Yes, the guy. Okay.
Instructor, man.
Now, was he over there too?
Bob would come by every once in a while.
Okay.
And when he came, you just stood to attention because that brother was big.
Yeah, I heard he was big guy.
No,
big guy, strong.
Massive.
Yeah.
Just the most muscular person I've ever seen. You know, I remember we go to the West Coast relays would be there in Fresno.
Right.
He'd come and just take his shirt off and just sit in the stands, and everybody just be like, man, but they didn't know that dude could move too. Yeah, I remember watching a lot of videos of him and Robert Halliburton fight. You know,
they fought each other?
Yeah.
How did you do with Robert?
I think
Larry Cormier fought him too.
Larry Cormier, I'm not familiar with that person.
Oh, you don't know Larry?
No.
Larry, I think he was the one that trained Johnny Jackson now.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he came by every once in a while, but man, I mean, that was like a 1960s power brother. I mean, Afro with my man walking.
Luke Cage, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
man.
I
heard he was tough.
In a bag of chips.
I heard he was tough. Never fought him, but I heard he was pretty tough.
Yeah. Just big brother, man. Big.
Right.
Like after every technique he threw, it was like a spinning back kick that he always threw right afterwards.
Oh, after he finished it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those were the days, man.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, some good names out of Fresno, huh?
A lot of good names, man. A lot of great athletes came from Fresno. Tim McDonald's, a couple other guys who went and played in the NFL.
Okay. Well, Henry.
Bodybuilders. Yeah, Henry
Eller. He went to school with us.
Yep. Yeah, Henry Eller.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the other person I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah. He was one of the first, around he was a little bit older than me, but the first that I knew that achieved something, magnificent out of Fresno, California, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Henry was cool. He was cool.
Yeah. I remember him.
Right. Yeah. It's cool cat.
Fresno State. I said Fresno State.
Right.
Yeah.
Bulldogs.
I hated Fresno State.
Why?
Because
why is that?
When we played football, I can't think of Sartini was a guy's name. He was a receiver. His father was the quarterback at Fresno State. So and he
Okay.
played for Bullard, and we're playing for Edison. So obviously there's already a little demographic situation going on there. So yeah, I don't know why. I always hated Fresno State, but got a lot of
Right.
respect for man. I mean, some great athletes came out of Fresno State. Oh my God, man! They
Right.
still producing
Right.
athletes. Man,
Yeah.
I was just watching this thing on Netflix. This kid came
Okay.
from Fresno, got recruited, I think 28, and played for the what's the team that used to always won the Super Bowl for a while? Redskins.
Redskins, yeah, they tough. Or Chiefs, Redskins,
Yeah,
Chiefs.
the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs. Yeah, got picked up by them.
Okay.
Scored a couple of touchdowns in that Super Bowl, and end up hearing that he was from Fresno. I was like, wow.
You talking about Stephon Page?
No, it's a younger cat. He's really
Okay, younger. Okay.
Yeah, he's really young. Yeah, this
Okay.
was just. I think this was the last Super Bowl that the Redskins had won.
Okay.
Yes, it was a while ago. Yeah, but Fresno's still producing, man. Still producing some great athletes. Had some great bodybuilders, man. They could have easily turned pro, but it was just that Fresno mentality is like, preferring to be a big fish in a little pond instead of going to be a little fish in a big pond,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fresno. It's all right. When's the last time you been there?
Man, it's been a while. It's been
Is that right?
while. Yeah, it's been a while.
Right.
I know. I was talking to Greg. Remember Greg Jones?
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, because I'll keep up with him on Facebook, and I was like, like I'm coming through. He's like, man, I'll meet you on the outskirts. I'm like, why, man? I'll just come in. He's like, no, man, some cats are really like jealous, of you. And I'm like, really? Why, man? I'm like, I didn't do nothing. He goes, man, it's just Fresno. Just sometimes people don't like to see you win, man. So
Right.
you got a lot of jealous people there. And I'm like, really, man? But I kind of always sensed that, from Fresno, because I remember bodybuilder, he passed away. Man, we used to train when we were amateurs, and I remember I'd won my first pro show, and he had won a big time amateur show.
Okay.
And they were saying, hey man, he's just as good as you are. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a pro, he's an amateur. But they're comparing, but it was always that way, I don't know why.
Right.
I don't know why, but
Right.
yeah, sometimes people just don't want to see you win,
Well, a lot of times it's that crab mentality too that was exposed.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of them can't get out of that barrel. They can't get out. Because another one just, hey, you can't leave. You can't grow. Not without me. Why you get to grow?
Yeah.
I don't want to see you grow. And then to mess with you on that tip is like, that's their little low-level strategy. See if they can upset your that energy you got, give you some negative energy, and see if you'll bite into it. Well, he's just as good as you. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, well, okay. Have a good day.
Phil Herndon was his name. Rest in peace of Phil Herndon.
Okay, I remember that name.
A lot of great bodybuilders. I mean, Ron Flowers, rest in peace, Big Ron.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Ron,
Yeah.
I mean, we trained. He was my homie, man. He was my
right.
We trained hard, and I ended up winning to California. And later on, Big Ron come up and he won to California, but he could have turned pro and did great, but he decided to pursue a life in law enforcement. Did great. Became a detective. Was very influential. But Ron, I remember always looking up to Big Ron, man. I mean, brother, one of the realest brothers I knew.
Right.
I heard about this one fight he got into. So this cat had disrespected his wife, so they had to get down, and Ron is handling the guy real nice.
Right.
And out of respect, Ron stops and like, hey man, we can stop here. or I can give you some more. You know, where most cats would have just like continue working to do.
Right.
Like I had enough, and Ron's like, okay, we good then, you know. But just
Right. Ron was a nice guy, and I was because he was on Facebook. We talked a lot on Facebook the last year and a half ago, and because he wrestled, right?
Yeah,
didn't he wrestle?
Yeah,
played football and did bodybuilding. I was like, well, dude, why didn't you come over there and train with us, man?
Yeah,
I mean, got him in there with you and Stacy and Touch and Brad, man.
Yeah,
because he was already trying to hang out with us anyway. Remember when he punched that one dude out in Fitness Plus? We in Fitness Plus working out, and somebody did something to him, or it might have been his girl, I don't know. And we all walked outside, and dude was out there still talking, and Ron took a pop. Ron just socked him.
And Ron had that crazy strength, man. I remember high school, he was benching 315, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Ron
that's good.
That strong. Just one of the most solid brothers, man. Jeez, I miss him.
Yeah, it's a good dude.
Was.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Stacy.
Yeah, right.
And Touch came a little bit after me. I don't remember him that much. I remember you telling me how he became a great fighter. I'm like, well, how good was he? You're like, yeah, I would have been a good fighter. I'm like, nah, no way, man. You're like, oh, it would have been.
I think.
So I'm like, no way, man.
Touch was long and fast. I think once you hit him, it would have been over with. I think once you hit him one time or kicked him hard, everything would have changed. Right.
That's beautiful. You train some monsters, bro. I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know what it is, but you definitely got that gift. You know, just even though you're a approach, I remember like I had now understand I had a lot of mental challenges and hangups I had, and you know, you would talk really like light, where I'd had to pay extra attention to what you're saying, and I think you would like do it on purpose, you know, but just, or I like my heart rate would be crazy after training, and you would like grab my thumb and just talk to me. You'd pinch it right in the middle here. I still do that now when I got a headache.
Right.
You sit there and just constantly, breathe.
Right.
Real light, you know, and focus. But you just, man, you have an amazing ability, brother. You have an amazing gift, man. And it's great just to see you sharing it with this generation, you know, watching, going up to the last tournament here in Las Vegas, and just watching, you know, getting to know some of your students, going to dinner with them, you know, kind of having a real conversation with them to see where their head's at, you know what I mean? Challenging them on a couple of questions and stuff like that, but watching them fight and then, you know, hanging out with them afterwards, man. Yeah. Bro. Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Yeah. Like I said, we should. I'll let you know the dates.
Will you go ahead?
I'll let you know the dates that we're coming up there. I think it's in April or March, something like that.
Okay.
But, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So, what are your thoughts on martial arts back when you trained, back when you were training in Fresno, and how it is now? Do you think it's changed at all?
I think that the martial arts has changed a lot. Now you're talking about the business side, or you're talking about the actual martial arts fighting, or are you talking about the points? Which one?
Not really, because the point goes into fighting, but just the fighting mentality and the training mentality, and then obviously the business. Right.
Well, the business side of it is watered down. Even some of the grappling stuff, they're starting to water down as well. But a lot of because people come in here and they want their kids to get a certificate and a belt. You know, I can go to job. Hey, my Johnny just got this blue belt or a green belt, and that's where it's at right now. But as far as the actual fighting, the wrestling, the grappling, I've always been a wrestler from fourth grade all the way up. I was All-American wrestling and collegiate wrestling. I don't have a problem with wrestlers. I don't have a problem with Olympic champions, national champions. So for wrestling, for us, it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. And I told one guy, he was teaching Goju-Ryu. And I said, well, you guys gonna ever start wrestling or grappling or judo or jujitsu or something? He said, no. If they try, and he said his students didn't even believe it. Me and him, students are outside. And he said, well, if they try to take me down, I'm just going to give them a knee to the chest. Mm-hmm. The students looked at him like, really? And they kind of like, he's not understanding because they're watching it. They're watching the change. They're watching the UFC and the grapplers coming in there and changing things. Yeah. Because if you don't know how to at least stabilize a wrestler and stop him from that initial shot, you're like fish out of water, right? Yeah. Because when we shoot, grab, you dumping him on his head or dumping you on your head. Now you can't do a lot of elbow strikes and tiger strikes and ripping the eyes out. A lot of stuff you can't be able to do because you're on the cement in the streets, right? Yeah. So I think the wrestling and the grappling and the judo and the jiu-jitsu have woken a lot of martial artists up. Some of them still don't believe it, but the majority of the world believe that, hey, do both. Don't just say that we don't do wrestling, we don't do grappling. At least know how to defend yourself against a wrestler or a grappler. And that's it. Even a boxer understands the weakness now. Yeah. You know, he understands. Just like the one dude, Crawford or whatever his name is. He said, if a wrestler gets his hands on you, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just
I
like
remember that. I remember that in high school. That was always our biggest fear, is fighting a wrestler, because every street fight after about, no more than 2 minutes, you're on the ground.
Right.
You know? And we all knew that if a wrestler get a hold to you and he gets you on the ground, you're a fish out of water. You know, no matter what you're good at, they're gonna have their way with you.
Right. Yeah. You know? I remember you threw somebody. I can't remember who it was. You grabbed some dude and boom, you threw him in the dojo. I can't remember his name though.
Yeah, you remember his name. You know his name. It was Anton.
Nah, that was Oak.
It was Oak.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't remember. Yeah. I thought it was somebody else. I just remember you grabbed him and you looked like he went to one side, then y'all fought, and then you tossed him to the other side. Where was we at? Where was he at the karate school?
Yeah, we're at the karate school, the very first one.
Over by.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, no, that was Anton.
Anton. Okay.
And he came at me, and I don't even know how I thought about it, but I did that a couple of times in fighting.
Okay.
The guy charges really hard.
Right.
I just fell back and just instinctively kicked my feet up at the same time of falling back, and they roll. They fly over you.
Okay.
Stuff, but,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember I just remember that you did it one time. Yeah. At our first school. Yeah. Okay.
You're like, okay, y'all can, that's enough.
Oh, I had to break it up.
Gosh.
You too.
Man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Oak, man. I remember.
Yeah, Oak man. He doing all right.
A couple of times you couldn't make it to the tournament, and he was there, man. He was, amazing in my corner, and turned me on. I think we went to Long Park one time. It was just me and Oak. Yeah, I ended up fighting a couple of different divisions and grand champion and all that. Yeah, shout out to Oak and his son.
Yeah. Oak's doing pretty good. Yeah. He's still in Fresno. Yeah, so they're doing all right up there. I might have to go up there pretty soon. I don't know when, but yeah.
Yeah.
Take a ride up there.
They don't have a lot of tournaments like they used to in Fresno anymore?
Nah. Wow. One dude just canceled one of his tournaments this year in Fresno. He just canceled it. Yeah. Who else? The one that throws it in August, he tries to make it every August. after 2020. After 2020, and then they said we can do the events again. Then he came back and he did it. So he's been doing it every year. August, you know, is in Hanford.
Fresno and Visalia, man. They used to do tournaments almost every week. And
Right.
freaking Bakersfield.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's throwing it. You got, if I throw one, I gotta see how this year's gonna plan out though. But they usually have 1 or 2 in Bakersfield, me and the other guy, and then 1 in Hanford, 1 in Fresno. That's pretty much it.
Why do you think it's not a lot of tournaments anymore?
Since 2020, it's just been rough.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, 2020 has been rough. And then, like I said, a lot of them are, if they're not implementing the, what would you say, the Muay Thai or the grappling or wrestling, then, it's hard to keep a big crowd in there for the point tournaments. Like with 100 or 200 competitors at a point tournament, right?
Really?
So, yeah, so it's a little hard on them. Even like what you said about the Long Beach International Ed Parker's tournament, I don't think it's as big as it was because you remember where it used to be at that big arena?
Oh yeah.
So they don't. I don't think they throw it down there no more. They throw it if you was down there in the parking lot. And you look away from the ocean and up at the hotels. So they throw it in a hotel now. Right? Right. So you remember when we was fighting, you can throw that in no hotel.
No.
Yeah, you can throw that in no hotel. It wouldn't happen.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Right. One division. I remember one time I'm lining up and I'm down here and I look down the division. My division is like about what? Like a football field long.
Yeah.
Football field long.
That was beautiful. And we fought
on some good days.
Concrete. We fought on concrete back then, man.
Concrete. Didn't nobody get sued?
No.
Didn't nobody get no busted head?
No.
I don't think nobody got sued. I don't know.
No, not that I know of.
Nah, because
we didn't wear hair gear back then, right? It was just hands and feet. It wasn't hair gear yet.
Not sure.
No, it wasn't hair gear yet. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not. Okay, I had to go back and look at some of the videos to be honest.
No, I remember on one right now. No, it wasn't no headgear. It wasn't no headgear. At least back, not back when I was fighting there, but yeah, man. Right. I mean, I remember back then. That was the first time I seen like real drunken style kung fu. Kata.
Right.
I was like, what?
Right.
It was beautiful, man. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Long Beach International was good. That was one trip everybody got ready for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody's getting ready for that.
You could always tell going to a karate school because he always had the same type of trophy. So yeah, man.
Right.
Talk about Brandon, but man, shout out to Ed Park and what he did for the
man, he did a lot.
Community, man.
Yeah.
At Kempo.
Good dude. Yeah. Yeah, he did a lot. And I mean, his people that's underneath him is still trying to keep it going at a high level, everywhere. So, not just in California, but around the United States.
Yeah.
So they're still pushing his brand, still pushing his name. Nice. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, should. Because he's definitely
he's one of those pioneers.
100%.
For, point tournament, sports, karate, him, June Reed, Mr. Anderson, Robert Treyas out of Arizona. A lot of names. Yeah. And they was the ones that was bringing it all up, And they're responsible for Bruce Lee. Yeah. That's where he got discovered at. So, and no Ed Parker, no internationals, no Bruce Lee at that time. He may have found another way to get to where he was going, but not this path, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody know that.
Right.
Seeing that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Good times.
But shout out to you,
So,
homie, for finally,
okay.
After all of our conversations, you getting your podcast started.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I know for about a year or so we had talking about it.
Right.
I started mine and I started jumping on you about it. Next
Mm-hmm.
thing you know, you at the store buying this and buying that. Like, God, dang, son. And I'm like, man, you are beyond prepared as always.
Man.
Always.
Right.
Yeah. As always.
Funny man. Huh?
Weapons, books. I mean everything. Excuse me. There's something in my throat.
I know it is, buddy. I know it is. Right. Anything you want to talk about before we get off, or what you want to do?
Nah, man. I just want to give you your flowers, bro, and just what you mean to me. What you helped me do, that mentality that you helped me in a very, very immature time in my life, and just our relationship becoming into a mentorship, and times where I was in the hospital and not doing good, and you coming down and just hanging out, and spending the night in the room, just.
Oh yeah.
Man, I gotta give you credit. I want to give you your flowers. I always try to do that. Whenever I'm talking about what I've done or what I achieved, because you're. I don't think you can ever understand the impact that you had on me, that you still do, to this day, and just our conversations when we're conversating. You still just educate me, retarting my brain back to that mentality where I need to be, what I need to be thinking about, man. And just, bro, amazing brother, amazing brother, man. Like I said, you never cease to amaze me with your abilities and your knowledge and your thirst for knowledge and honesty and what you learning and what you're doing and what you're pushing out, bro. I mean, if you were a different type of guy, you'd have 1 billion students, but you don't get down that way, So man, shout out to you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
However I can help you, I'm just a phone call or text away, bro. Ty, you'll never understand, bro. Just never understand, the impact that you have on me and you continues to have on me. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
We're going to do this again one day.
Oh, yeah, sure. 100%. 100%.
All right.
We'll have to do one at the range or something.
Oh, yeah, we definitely got to do that one. And we got to break it down. And hey, this is this type of gun, blah, blah, blah. This is caliber, blah, blah, blah. And this is how we get down with it. And then, let them know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times we just go out there and we just start shooting and filming. Right?
Just ding, ding, ding all over.
Right. Ding, 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 ding. Right. Exactly. So yeah, we definitely got to do that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bring all the bipods up there. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh yeah.
Hit all the angles. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And put it up here. Right.
100%. 100%.
Right. We're gonna do that. We need to do that in the next couple of months.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Weather
We'll set that up.
nice and everything we got to. We'll
Right.
do a video letting people know that it's going to be coming out so they can be ready and prepared for it.
Right. Definitely. So everybody out there on this YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, any other ones? StreamYard. Hey, we're coming at you pretty soon with some good footage on firearms, range training, maybe some safety stuff if you guys need it. Let us know.
Sir.
But we're coming soon. It's
Yes,
T.Y.
sir.
Tiberi and Mr. Flex Wheeler, the icon of bodybuilding. That's what I call him.
I appreciate
Right.
you, brother. I appreciate
All right.
you. God
All
bless
right.
you and your family, brother.
Love you too, brother. You too. I'll holler at you in a little bit.
For sure.
Okay, now. Hit me if you need something.
You got it. You know that.
All right.
You know
Okay.
that.
All right. Okay, brother.